dancing on the wire, reckless it seems. We found holes in these walls, we like what we saw. Seems so strong until it falls, the final straw. Oh, I never felt like this before.
I'm very excited to show you the peaches. I don't know if you remember, but I was afraid to plant this tree because it had peaches on it that were doing so well. But it's still doing okay. I think I'll have to net it soon and really keep an eye on it. Because once this fruit starts to get close to picking, birds eat it, insects eat it. But she's doing good. Really, we have 2 other peach trees that I've noticed like 1 or 2 tiny little peaches on them, but I don't really expect much. And our apple trees have tiny little baby apples. And this is the Belle of Georgia peach tree. We have a Red Haven and I can't remember the other one, but they're the kind of like common ones. But so far, this one's doing great.
Today's a very exciting day because, why?
We're getting our second shed, which not to live in. I wish it could be an
no.
addition.
It's gonna be a shed, which means, so
our solar is going in there.
Our solar's going in there, but it's also gonna be a shed, and our laundry is gonna go in there, but we don't have laundry and we don't have our solar yet. So it's right now, we're gonna, as soon as they're done, we're gonna be moving stuff out of this house into here so we can have access to the walls.
It's about to be bare bones.
Yeah, so that
house.
we can rip through that electricity.
Although someone has a sprained ankle and feels a little better today, and I think she's overdoing it, and I'm not really sure how we're gonna move certain things because some people don't need to be moving around. A lightning rod over here.
Yes, well, Casey will move as much stuff by herself as she can. I'll sit on the couch and tell her what to do. Also, this shed is much smaller. It's a little less than half the size of our living shed. And let me show you how they're doing it a little different because they're going to back in. Oh my.
This here, this wall, in this back corner will be where like the solar batteries and stuff go. It will be completely insulated, and then we'll have the washer and dryer going right here, and then, you know, the rest of it is just going to be storage. It is nothing fancy at all. Today, I'm gonna try to move in as much stuff in here that I can myself in the kitchen area so we can start wiring that. We think that's something that Savannah could do, even being a little bit, well, help with. She's not gonna do it by herself, but we think that's something that she could do even while being a little bit injured. But I've got to get all the stuff out of there. We're just gonna kind of work in sections. Every time we come on here and say what we're gonna do, especially in regards to finishing the inside of the house, it changes. So the last time we were like, okay, we're gonna do the bedroom area, but then that's when Savannah hurt herself. So who knows what's actually gonna happen, but if we could get that insulated, drywalled, and then we're not, in the kitchen area, we're gonna do beadboard. So you don't have to do anything fancy with mudding or taping, and then start getting that worked on in there. And that will be, that's the biggest, will be the biggest morale booster. So yeah, exciting day today. Two very exciting things came today. So this is the Mr. Cool 12K DIY air condition. Well, it's a, what is it called? A mini split. This can both heat and cool, which, you know, we plan on only heating with the stove, the wood stove, most of the time. But like when you go to sleep at night and you're not stoking the fire, or, you know, all kinds of scenarios, it will work for that. Very excited about having AC soon.
I'm sitting on the couch because my nurse Casey said that I walked around too much this morning. So I'm elevating my foot, hoping that the swelling will continue to go down. But for now, Casey's having to move all the stuff by herself. I cannot help her lift and carry things into the shed.
Our newly set up kitchen. You know, we had a kitchen table, and then this red cart was there. Obviously this, but we had insulation, big things of insulation right there. Much more open, but hopefully just temporary. The plan is the counter all here, and then there's gonna be one here, and it's gonna come another kind of like a little J, if you will.
And then, well, and this, the fridge will be here, so it's kind of like a G.
I see.
Like,
Savannah's gonna insert later the very rigged up design.
to say that in this mock-up, this is not anything that has anything to do with colors of anything that we're doing. It's just more about the layout, and even in the middle where there is a range, if you'll notice on the right side there's also a range. That's just because the pictures I found that I put together had the range, but there's actually going to be a sink under the window. So we're just kind of playing around with layouts so that we can kind of fit everything we need into the kitchen. I think this is what we've settled on, but it does, you know, there's a chance it could change.
She's putting in an electrical box now. Why is it doing this? Just so everyone knows, I don't approve of this activity, but I don't control this woman, so.
Some of these, I guess, don't have the things poked out of them, but...
Whoever drilled those holes, man, did a good job.
Oh, man. Down into there. Nice. Toss.
Woo.
All right, we have moved our couch out from the wall. It's very filthy back here. And it's very hot today. But today is the day that we are getting this AC in. Our hope is to have an AC sometime well before the sun goes down today. And yesterday we actually cleared the wood on the side of the house. We had all of our firewood, and that is where we're going to be building an enclosure for our trash cans, and also where the outdoor part of the AC is going to go. So we had to move all that out of the way. And it is very hot. I don't know if you can tell, but I am warm. So we have all the windows and doors open in the shed, and this is the perfect day to have an AC. So I'm hoping that we can get through this in a couple hours and be able to turn that AC. So this is where the power will be coming into the breaker box. So I need to wire a lot of lines to all the power over here, because the AC is going to go on this wall. Because the AC is going on here, and we have one chance. The thing about this unit is that it already has the coolant charged in there, and you don't have to get an HVAC person, and so that's why it's a fully DIY-able mini split, and that's why we got it. So we really only have one chance to hook it up, and where we put it, it has to stay. We can't disassemble it and put drywall up, so we have to make sure all the wires are in here that need to be behind there, put the insulation up, and then we bought today in town one piece of drywall that we will be putting up right here, and then we can put the AC in.
See this one? The boba tea in our small town.
Oh my god.
If your house isn't perfectly straight, it tells me. Don't be jealous of my hair, first of all. Second of all, I'm going to show you the mini split system. We got it at Costco, like way cheaper than if you buy it from an authorized dealer. I think, you know, it was like
$400 cheaper.
$400 cheaper. So for like $1,600, like $1,200 versus $1,600. This is going to be the unit that hangs on the wall. We're going to open it up and show it to you. And this, hold on. This is what's going to go sit outside. We will give you our full review if we really think it's DIY friendly.
I've watched a lot of videos of people installing this, and I feel like there's one aspect that everyone overlooks, even the manufacturer themselves, and that is the electrical part. I mean, we will see when we go to do this, because we're going to be wiring it specifically to our generator, because there's no house power right now. But everyone just kind of glazes over that, and I personally think that part is not super DIY, and this whole unit is supposed to be like, you do it yourself. But everybody just kind of glazes over that you have to hook it to electricity. So when we get to that part, we'll see what happens. Well, all right. We probably should have opened that outside. Here we are.
Here we are.
What? Okay. In case you're wondering, it does not come with electrical tape, but you need electrical tape.
All done. Just kidding.
We have
But
so much more to go.
that is that beautiful purple drywall, but it is on, and now we have to hook it up on the outside.
They said to be just gentle while you do it. Oh no!
What Savannah's doing now, there's no turning back.
Wait, I'm going the wrong way.
It's your, what is it? You're unlocking the refrigerant.
Mm-hmm. The first one you could hear going through.
Yeah, you could.
Right, so as far as it'll go. I'm getting eaten by bugs.
We are not done yet, but I would like to say that
Are you
I
looking
think,
at the camera right now?
yeah,
I think.
I think this is an advanced DIY. Well, first of all, you could do it. You have to be very good at reading instructions and blah, 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 which Savannah's better at. I absolutely could not do this by myself. No. But also, it actually requires an electrician. And the store that sells it locally,
How much soap is it? Oh, I see.
the store that sells this locally kind of advertised it to us that it was literally like plug and play. Well, it is not that. It is not that. Okay. In one day, Savannah has become not only an HVAC technician, but an electrician.
We have literally just finished installing the whole AC system. Still have some like cover parts to install tomorrow, but we're ready to turn on the unit. And also the sun it's down. We're moments away from it being dark outside, so yes. Okay, we're turning it on. We do have to do this test run, so it says you have to put it down to the lowest temperature possible. Oh my gosh, come stand here, Casey. It's not even that cold yet, but so we're gonna let it run on this for 5 minutes, but then after that we have to turn the heat on for 5 minutes. That's interesting. But then when that's over, we're gonna turn this on, and it's actually not that cold right this second. I don't feel like it is. It just feels like a fan right now.
No, it feels cold, but I mean, I'm sure it takes a minute.
Yeah, well, obviously we should shut the door. That'd probably be a good idea. It has been a week, maybe a week and a half since we installed our mini split, and we're actually in town today. We come into town about once a week to just do work, and today one of the things I'm doing is editing the video. So I just wanted to do a quick follow-up to say a little bit about our experience installing it. It does come with everything you need to make it work. You do, however, need to buy the covers that cover the outside of the lines. We have actually not finished that yet, so when we to finish, I will just show you a little video of what that looks like. That's just something to consider to add on to that, because otherwise all the wires are just getting rained on, or they're just kind of like out there. So you do have to get that. It's called a line set cover. We didn't buy the Mr. Cool brand. We just bought some on Amazon. They seem fine. I will link exactly what we bought in the description box below. The problem that I was having when I was doing research before we even received our mini split was that I didn't know what to do with the electricity. When we first saw this DIY mini split for the first time, we were in a store and they made it seem like it was very plug and play, like you just plugged it into the wall. They did say you would drill a hole in your wall, but then you just plugged it in. So immediately we thought, we have to have this one. When I started looking into how to install the mini split, we had actually already ordered it. And I was realizing, wait a minute, this isn't totally DIY. You still have to have an electrical source, which most people just have that, but it's not actually, it doesn't need to be plugged in inside your house. It actually needs some kind of electricity on the outside, which when you're not comfortable with doing electrical stuff, you're gonna have to hire an electrician. We don't have any electricity around in our house, so we knew we were gonna want to use the generator. And I could not find anything out there about how to wire your mini split to a generator. There was kind of like this missing link on the internet. So I will link, there's actually one part that we used, and let me say, we are not electricians. I'm just telling you what we did. I will link the piece that we use. There's just one. It's basically like an extension cord with the plug inside on one side, and then the wires are just out on the other side. And that is what we used to hook up the outside unit to the electricity. Something I also feel like was kind of overlooked in not everyone's videos, but there is a wire that comes through your wall that's attached to the inside unit that goes out and attaches, like an electrical wire that you attach, and the instructions will tell you how to attach it to the outside unit. And it's just kind of like the other side is for electricity, like for the power coming in, and it kind of just glazes it over that. So if you aren't comfortable with electricity or doing electrical stuff, you're gonna have to hire someone or get an electrician friend to come over and do the legitimate plug that goes on the outside of your house. We will do that in the future. So far, we've only used the air conditioner like 1.5 days because we went out of town, and then now it's pretty chilly outside again. But those 2 days, 1.5 days, it was awesome to have it. And it's honestly just nice because it got down to like 55 last night, and you could turn the heat on a little bit, and we don't even have to build a fire, even think about chopping wood right now because we are in this in-between season. But in a few days, it's gonna be in the high 80s again. So we have been very delighted. It was pretty intense installing this whole thing. It takes a lot if you don't have your house built. So we had to think of a lot of things to do before we even put it in, and that made it just pretty intense. We did it all day. But the moment we turned the AC on, we were like, this is worth it. So if you are not an avid DIYer, if you don't like reading instructions, or you're just not good at following instructions, no shame in that, but this might not be for you. But you might know somebody who's good at that, and you could get them to help you if you needed one of these. I think I would absolutely do this again. I think the summary is that you have to be prepared before you start this DIY. If you just go into it, you're gonna start reading the instructions and realize you need a lot more things than just what they give you. And one of those things is a concrete pad for the outdoor unit to be bolted to. And that is something that has to be done before you actually install the mini split. I think it's good to watch some YouTube videos. That was really helpful. It made me understand kind of what to expect. So when we took everything apart, I kind of was already understanding what the parts were. I still read the instructions completely because I didn't want to do anything wrong, but it was helpful to watch other people's videos. I know this video is not a full-on tutorial on how to do that, but there are videos out there where they show you exactly how to do it, minus the electricity part. And hopefully some of these things that we've talked about would be helpful to your installation. If you are interested in anything off-grid or anything homesteading or home DIYs, anything like that, and you aren't already a subscriber, definitely become one because we've got plenty of content coming soon. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful. Come back next week to see what huge project we are taking on next.
I never